Hello. Welcome to Daughters of Odessa. My name is Gail, and on today, I would like to just have a conversation, sister to sister. And my topic for today is we need to get ourselves together. Honey, girls, ladies, friends, sisters, there's something wrong with us. We got to get it together. It doesn't matter what our walk is, what our religion is, what our color is, what our cultures are. As sisters, women are catty, chatty, running off at the mouth about other sisters, and is very unattractive. Not just in the world, but on our jobs, in our churches, and even on the bus on our way to work. I don't think of anything by coincidence. I was on my way to work a couple of days ago, and there was a young lady on the bus. And I don't even want to call the young lady a name. But the person that she was speaking about, her name was Stephanie, and the person that she was speaking to was Nikki on the other end of the line. So Nikki and the young lady on the bus was having a conversation about Stephanie and her relationship with her man. Now, Stephanie, in 5 minutes, this is the information that I got. Stephanie was weak. Stephanie is stupid. Stephanie is always catering to her man. Stephanie needs to be punched in her face. And the young lady on the bus is real close to beating Stephanie up and punching Stephanie in her face for being so stupid. Now, from what I gather on the bus, Stephanie's stupidity is because of the way that she treats her man. Stephanie comes home, she cooks, she works all day. Her man works all day. Yes, he has a job. He works all day. From what I gather, the man does his part as taking care of the bills and doing what he needs to do. But every now and then the man likes to hang out with his boys. But Stephanie makes sure that her man is well taken care of. That he has a full course meal when he comes home. That he eats 3 times a day. That she do what she needs to do as a mother and a fiance. And yes, Stephanie is engaged to this young man that the lady on the bus and Nikki were having this heated conversation about. Now, first of all, the conversation of Stephanie and her man should have not have been even in the mouth of the young lady on the bus. Because what is that her business how this girl treats her man? I didn't catch anything where the man is abusive, where he's doing anything hurtful. The whole conversation with the young lady on the bus and Nikki was about this girl just being so weak. She being so stupid. She's submissive. She do this. She do that. The whole story of how she treats her man. Nothing about this man cheating on her. Nothing about this man being abusive. Nothing about this man doing anything but going to work, taking care of his home, and hanging out with his boys every now and then. The girl on the bus was flipping out, saying all the stuff that she wouldn't take. There's no way that she would treat him like that. And he ain't even her husband. And even when he do become her husband, he ain't worth being treated like this, that, or the other. Now, mind you, the young lady on the bus didn't even look half clean to me, but you're running off your mouth and talking about somebody else's relationship. Second of all, you talking to somebody who just as loud as you on the phone, and neither one of you ladies don't sound like you even have a man. Why are you worried about somebody else's life? We got to get ourselves together, sister. Instead of focusing on your own life, you're worried about somebody else's life. Stephanie was nowhere to be found. She was the 3-way on the party line. She wasn't in the conversation, included on another line or anything, just being talked about blatantly about how stupid she is for being a feminine woman who does what she needs to do to take care of her household and her family. She's stupid. She's weak. She's doing that, practicing that submission stuff. Nobody should be doing that. We live in 2019. She just stupid. I just be wanting to punch her in her face. This is a conversation of the young lady on the bus. Why? Because the young lady's relationship has nothing to do with you. Mind your business. And this is a lot of what's going on. Nobody's minding their business. You're so focused on somebody else's life, taking the focus off your own. And this is why you can't get your life together. Because you all caught up in somebody else's life, somebody else's relationship, somebody else's love story, what's going on in it, and how it's going to end. This girl, young lady, woman, whatever she was, because the young lady on the bus had to be about 35, so I'm assuming that Stephanie is somewhere in that age range. She must know what she's doing. First of all, she got a man. Second of all, she worked. It's her choice that she wants to come home, take care of her household, and cater to her man. Third of all, who are you to threaten bodily harm on someone because of the way that they choose to treat their man? I don't get it, sisters. We've got to get ourselves together. This femininity thing that God ordained from the beginning for women to walk in their strength, in their beauty, in their excellence, in their generosity, in their sweetness, in their softness, in their calmness, is God ordained. It has to be restored. All this hard, masculine, strong rage in women today because of how another woman is treating her man. She has to be soft and weak and deserves to be punched in her face. Like, I can't get that. I was on the bus like, are you serious? I almost said to the young lady, are you seriously having this conversation about another young lady? But the girl was so thugged out. She probably would have punched me in the face. So, of course, I used my wisdom and kept my mouth shut. But I say all of that to say, even as those of us who are children of God, sisters, we compete with each other. It doesn't matter what our race, what our religion is. We compete. We talk about one another. We see each other. Oh, who that B thinks she is. She thinks she better than me. Oh, she changed. But I remember when. I knew her from way back when. You don't give people a chance to change and to become who they truly are because you're still judging them and talking about them and having conversations about them and what they're doing in their lives instead of you focusing on your own life and doing you. And it's in the church big time. Sisters keep their eyes on other sisters. I want to see what she wearing Sunday. Checking down the shoes to see if they the same pair of shoes that the person has had for a month. Maybe that's the only pair of shoes that she has. You want to see who she coming to church with. Oh, he too fine for her. Oh, he must don't know her. Oh, he don't know her story. Maybe he's just a friend that she invited to church. Maybe it's not even that serious. But you're so focused on another sister and what's going on in another sister's life that you can't focus on your own life and get your life together. I got a problem with that. I talk about Hadessa in almost every one of these talks that I talk about. And one of the things that I learned from Hadessa, Queen Esther. Before she became Queen Esther, she was Hadassah. Hadassah wasn't worried about no other sister. When she was in that palace with 399 other virgins, she was focused on Hadassah. She had 7 girls that had her back, and she talked to the 7 girls that she had. She wasn't caught up in the 399. She wasn't caught up in what they were doing. She wasn't caught up in their preparation to be who they were. She wasn't caught up in their purification process. She wasn't caught up in the competition of trying to be like somebody else or trying to do something better than somebody else. No, Hadassah was caught up in being Hadassah, letting the light of Hadassah shine, even as the God in Hadassah shine, letting the favor of God radiate and shine through Hadassah. So Hadassah ain't had time to be worried about what nobody else was doing, nobody else's preparation was, nobody else was wearing, or nobody else was going to bring before the king, because Hadassah was focused on her purpose and becoming everything that she dreamed and believed and had faith that she could be. Now, my thing, I'm not focused on the young ladies who was on the bus having this conversation about Stephanie, because it happens. No matter what we do, there's always going to be somebody having a conversation about us. We can't please everybody. But if I could meet Stephanie and I could talk to Stephanie, I would encourage Stephanie and tell Stephanie, sweetie, keep doing your thing. Keep doing what you're doing. And it's not because of the man that I think that Stephanie was doing what she was doing. I think Stephanie was doing what she was doing because that was in Stephanie. Stephanie may have come off as weak to the young lady and Nikki, but Stephanie had a sweet quality about her, or something that was attractive about her that kept this man coming home. And it's not about the man. As I always say in my talks, it's about us, taking care of us, being radiant and letting the light of our aura and our feminine beauty shine out of us. But as women of God, we have that extra oomph, that extra beauty, that extra radiant, because the light of Christ radiates through us. So our conversations has got to change in our workplaces, in our homes, in our churches, in transit. No matter where we are, we have to be light bearers, torch carriers, bearers of the light of Christ, the light of God radiating through us, not getting caught up in the catty conversations of somebody else's life. Some of us know more about entertainments and what's going on with Beyonce and Jay-Z and what's going on with this one and that one, but we don't even know what's going on in our own lives, because our own lives are so jacked up that we don't want to face our own lives. Thus, we had this conversation about Stephanie with the young lady and Nikki on a bus full of people. Like, get your life together. And we can't say that we're not guilty of doing these things. You know, I'm not saying that I have never done it, but I've grown out of focusing on somebody else and what somebody else is doing. And I'm focusing on my purpose, my dreams, my destiny, my calling, what it is that God has for me. When I leave this earth, every treasure, every gift, everything he placed down inside of me, I want to use it up. I want it all to be well spent. I don't want to take anything to the grave with me. I once heard Miles Monroe. He said the richest place in the world is the graveyard, because we have so many gifts and talents and books and stories and things that are inside of us that was so rich inside of us that we never used here on the earth. So I don't have time to be caught up in conversation about Stephanie's life and somebody else's life. I need to let my light for Christ shine, to walk out my purpose and stay focused on the things that God has called me to do. So my sisters, God's daughters, daughters of Hadessa, get your life together, sister. Focus on you, do you, and let God bless and prosper you. Don't be worried about Stephanie's life and nobody else's life. Worry about your life and get your life together.